me start with a story. One of my clients, a mom of two, works full time and volunteers at her kid's school. Told me, Deanna, my closets are fine. My pantry actually is in order, but it's my brain. My brain feels like a junk drawer. Well, we both laughed, but because of course, why? Because isn't that the truth? It's like your brain was and has 47 browser tabs open, and one of them is playing music, but you can't figure out which one. Right now, it's October, and the mental clutter is already piling up. Buy candy before it sells out. Don't forget the pumpkin carving kit. Did we RSVP to that Halloween block party yet? Oh no, where did I stash that fall wreath from last year? Because I want to bring it back out again. So, by the way, here's kind of a fun fact. I just wanted to throw this in here. 35 million pounds of candy corn are produced every year. That's 9 billion kernels, which means someone somewhere is definitely hoarding some candy corn, like gold. What do you think? A pot of gold? All right, so but here's another joke. I have to like run with it right now, but why didn't the skeleton cross the road? Because he didn't have the guts. Ha ha. But here's the kicker. It's only October. If your brain already feels stuffed now, what happens in November and December when the holiday rush hits? Welcome back, my friends, to Organizing with Ease. If this is your first time, I'm Deanna Mall, your host. This is where we break down the overwhelm of everyday life into simple, doable steps so you can enjoy your home and your time again. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you. Whether you've listened to 5 episodes or all 180 before this one, I'm so grateful. Every listen, every share, every message matters. And today we're diving into something we don't talk about enough. It's mental clutter. So, why does mental clutter actually drains us? Well, here's a stat to actually ground us here. Ready? The American Psychology Association says 70% of adults feel stressed about the holidays before they even begin. That means we're worrying about November and December already in October. So, one of my clients, a teacher and a mom of three, described it as this: by the time I get home, my brain feels like, I know, hear this one, scrambled eggs. I can't even decide what to make for dinner. So we decided to come up, aside from the meal planning starting from on her Sundays, or she actually chose Saturday to do her meal planning. But what we did was we did like a 5 day rotation. So we actually labeled days. So she chose for this particular week so that she can have a good start. Taco Monday, pasta Tuesday. She does use a slow cooker, a crock pot, so that would be on Wednesdays. They actually is a family that eat leftovers, so leftover Thursday, and then she made it easy, pizza on Friday. That was one decision that cut her mental clutter in half. Here's another truth. UC Irving researchers found that mental clutter makes it harder for your brain to focus. You literally process information more slowly when your mind is messy. So I'll share from my own life last year. I wasted some days wondering whether or not I had scheduled some doctor's appointments for myself and for my daughter. I checked my phone, thought about it while I was folding my laundry in that moment of, I even stressed out about it during my walk because I couldn't find it on my phone. Well, guess what? It turns out that I already had scheduled those appointments. I just hadn't crossed it off. And guess what? That is true mental clutter in action. So here's a question for you, my friend. Where do you feel the most? Lying awake at night, staring at shelves of, I don't know, maybe some pumpkin spice or of everything? Or maybe when you sit down to relax, but your brain is screaming through tomorrow's to dos. And since it's October, let's add a seasonal laugh. Okay, here we go. I'm going to have this throughout this whole episode because I just do. Why do mummies take vacations? Because they're afraid they'll unwind. So, isn't that what brains feel like sometimes? All wrapped up and nowhere to go? So, one of my best ways to clear mental clutter is to do a brain dump. Dr. Daniel Levitin, author of The Organized Mind, says that our brains are amazing at problem solving and terrible at storing information. When you try to hold it all into your head, your brain treats everything like an emergency. So here's how to do it. You set aside 10 minutes, pen, paper, or even a note on your phone. You write everything down: the groceries, the bills, the candy corns, the decorations, taxes you need to send, those nagging worries, right? Don't edit it, just dump it. You heard me right. Don't edit, just dump. Dump and write. Then you're going to sort by asking, what needs actions now? What can wait? What doesn't even belong to me that you can actually now pass on to someone else to get it done? You pick one thing and you move just one forward. A client of mine would used to wake up at 3, sometimes 2 a.m. every night with racing thoughts. We gave her a notepad by her bed. She started writing everything down. Within 2 weeks, she said, I'm finally sleeping again because my brain trusts me now. And sometimes she'll still wake up, at the 2 or 3 hour and write things down. She still keeps that there and it actually works. So I did this myself last October, a brain dump. And, I had to pick up my dry cleaning, plan my daughter's school list, and even have to buy new fall candles, the LED ones. Seeing it all on paper showed me half of it didn't really matter. Just writing it down gave me permission to breathe. Imagine your brain dump right now. Would it be a neat half a page, or would it be 10-page novel that rivals The War and Peace? Now, once you've dumped it all out, what's next? Well, we're going to focus. We're going to focus on picking that one thing, right? So a mom has, let's say, with a 27 item list, she chooses just one. She's going to start ordering her Halloween costumes, and it's done. What about those deadlines? Today, I'm just going to finish this project, and then my laundry can wait. Or, I'm planning a trip. Let me just book the flights only today, and there you have it. So these are pick one things and get it done. Check that off. If you did just one thing today, what would calm your brain the most? So, second is then let go. So, you pick one thing and then you're going to release and let it go. Okay. So, here are some examples. Instead of like agonizing on how to or what to bring for the next event that you have to go to, instead of going to like that dish with the recipes, just let that go and just go to the store and just buy something. Everyone's still going to eat it, right? Or what about if you overscheduled for the holiday events? Well, you know what? Go through the calendar. Cancel maybe 2 or 3, and your calendar is going to breathe a little bit better. Remember, you don't need to always say yes to every invitation that you receive. And or, you know what? What about the color coding on your calendar? How is that going? Keep it consistent. Remember, perfection has been released, especially if you color code, making it easier, make it much more visible. What's that one thing you're carrying that could be crossed off completely? Then we're going to just ease into the smallest step. A messy kitchen feels impossible, right? Ease says, here we go. Wipe the counters and load the dishwasher. Super easy. What about that mountain of laundry that's glaring? Well, you know what? Ease folding one basket while watching a show or listening to some music. Holiday cards, feeling overwhelmed. That is if you still share, if you actually still write them. What about if you start doing them online, sending them that way? Ease, just ordering online, make it easy. Photo prints today. So, what is your lowest bar step right now? Think about that. That's for this portion of the ease small steps. Then we're going to simplify by creating systems. Have you considered setting up autopay so that you don't need to stress about your bills again? Maybe you already do. That is fantastic. Keep it up. I know that there's still a couple of checks out there, especially if you have to pay for the lawn. The pool guy sometimes actually, those are the ones that seem to be always the favored check and or cash, right? What about if you set a timer for Sunday when you do your reset? Total game changer. What about if you do your themed night dinners when you do your meal planning? That's also something that's fun because it's easy and it's simplified, and you know exactly on Tuesdays it's going to be taco, maybe soup on Thursdays now that it's coming up for the falls. Just kind of make it fun and inviting for the family. What ritual could save you from repeating the same stress each week? Then we're going to go after we've done all this. So we've now, let's just do a quick recap. Ready? We've done the focus, you're picking one thing. Then we're going to release and let go. We're going to ease into the smallest step. After that, we're going to simplify and create systems. And now we're going to thrive to protect what we've just done. Because you know what? If we treat ourselves with fresh flowers every week, how does that feel? That sounds pretty good, right? Or what about if we actually watch our favorite movie with no interruptions? That's actually kind of good too, right? Or what about we play trivia night with friends just to kind of just have something fun? So these are just moments in time, right? So what's your Reese's moment? Just have to throw in again some October stuff here. The small joy you refuse to give up. So, and just for fun, a fun fact again. Here we go. Americans buy 90 million pounds of chocolate during Halloween of the week alone. So if your Reese's stash mysteriously disappears, chances are your family members are part of that statistic. One of my clients decorates for Christmas in October. She loves it, the lights, the coziness, but she confessed that she keeps the blinds closed so her neighbors don't see. That's mental clutter, worrying about what people will think. So, what's one silly thing you've been carrying that you could drop maybe today? And because it is October, here's another little laugh. What's a vampire's least favorite food? Ha, steak. Think about it. So here's your challenge this week. Do a 10-minute brain dump. Circle your top 3 priorities. Cross off one thing you're choosing not to do. Because, because letting go is just as important as getting things done. And let me close with this picture. Imagine your brain like the front porch in fall. Pumpkins out, leaves scattered, a wreath on the door, maybe some hay. And if you never swept, the porch gets messy, and soon you don't even want to walk through it. But if you take 5 minutes each day to sweep that porch, it stays welcoming. Your brain works the same way. It doesn't need a massive weekend clean out. It needs daily sweeps, tiny resets. That's how you protect space for joy, peace, and the memories that matter the most. So I thank you for joining me. This fall series is making space for what matters most. And today that meant clearing your head before the holiday whirlwind arrives. And don't forget, the October Challenge calendar is still available in the show notes. Download it. It's filled with simple daily prompts to clear some physical and mental clutter in your home. Next week, we're going to go into holiday prep made simple because with a little foresight, November doesn't have to feel like a tidal wave. Until then, my friend, clear some mental clutter, laugh at some silly stuff, honor your non negotiables, and remember, little by little, step by step. Until next week.